See, in the chat box, I have written a sample attendance format. You have to follow that format. You have to write your name, then slash branch, that is ME2 or EE2 slash class roll number. In this format, you have to give your attendance. Again, I'm repeating, I have written in the chat box the sample attendance format. That format is name slash stream, that is ME2 or EE2 slash your class roll number. In this manner, you have to give the attendance. I'll start the class at 11:25 a.m. I'll wait for 1 more minute. Let the people get joined. Again, I'm telling you, you have to give the attendance in the format name slash your branch, that is ME2 or EE2 slash class roll number. Again, I have given the sample attendance format name slash ME2 or EE2 your branch slash class roll number. Okay, it's 11:25 a.m. Now I shall start the today's class. Let me tell you, electrical people have joined a little bit late. Two classes already have been covered by me in this subject, but I guess if you have joined the Google Classroom, in that classroom already I have given the video lectures of my previous two classes, and I hope you might have gone through those two video lectures. Those are very basic lectures. We haven't started I haven't started any kind of numericals yet. I hope you might have gone through those lectures. If you are facing any kind of problem, you just let me know. I will take one makeup class either on Saturdays or on Sundays. But in today's class, I will start from the third lecture onwards. Will it be fine to you, all the electrical students, if anyone can respond?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So because see, if you feel any kind of difficulty to understand this class, you have to see those two lectures which I have uploaded in your Google Classroom. That is very easy lectures. Then only you will be able to understand this lecture. Fine. Okay. So let us start today's class. Let me share my screen first. Can you see my slides? If anyone can respond.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay. Okay, mechanical people, if you can tell me, I think in the last class we have covered this till this topic, Newton's law of gravitation. Yes or no? If anyone can respond from mechanical. If anyone can respond from mechanical, that I think in the till last class we have covered till Newton's law of gravitation. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Fine.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let me give you a brief that what we did in the last class. In the last class, we have discussed about different types of forces and force systems, such as concurrent forces, coplanar forces, concurrent parallel forces, coplanar parallel and non-parallel forces, and so on. And also we have discussed about the different laws of mechanics that we deal in order to solve any problem in mechanics, such as Newton's first law of motion, Newton's second law of motion, Newton's third law of motion, and also we have discussed about the Newton's law of gravitation. This was the total summary of the last class. So in today's class, we will be covering this topic, that is parallelogram law of forces. Is the slide visible to you? If you can respond once more to me.
Yes, sir.
Fine. Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Okay. Now, what is parallelogram law of forces? People are joining. Okay. What is parallelogram law of forces? Let us read the statement first. Then we will understand that what this statement tells. The statement is, if the two forces acting at a point, you can see in the left diagram, I am having two forces. One force is force P, another force is force Q. Force P is acting till point A and force Q is acting till point B. Fine. If the two forces acting at a point is represented in magnitude and direction by the two adjacent sides of parallelogram, that means this OA and OB are nothing but the two adjacent sides of parallelogram, and these sides are represented by two forces, that means two concurrent force. Because what is the property of concurrent force? Any force system will make a concurrent force if those forces pass through a common point. This is that common point. From this point, force P is originating towards point A. From this point, force Q is originating to point B, and this OA and OB are nothing but the two adjacent sides of parallelogram. Angle between force P and Q is nothing but theta. Clear? Then their resultant is represented in magnitude and direction by the diagonal of the parallelogram passing through that point. That means if this is a system, if I want to find out the resultant force, if I want to find out the resultant force of such system, how I will find out by parallelogram law? Then resultant of force P and Q will be given by the diagonal of the parallelogram. For that, I need to do some construction in my original diagram. What construction I need to do? See, OA is nothing but my force P, already given. OB is nothing but my force Q. Both the force are separated by an angle theta, and both these force represents two adjacent sides of parallelogram, and those sides are nothing but OA and OB. Now, the resultant of these two forces, that is P and Q, by parallelogram law will be the diagonal line passing through point O. Now, if I want to draw the diagonal line passing through point O, I need to do some modification in my original figure. What is that modification? That modification is I have to complete this parallelogram first. How I will complete this parallelogram? From point A, if I draw a line parallel to line OB, and of length exactly equal to OB. This is that line AC which is parallel to OB. Now similarly, I have to draw one more parallel line. That is, that line will originate from point B in this direction, and this line BC is nothing but parallel to OA. Then my parallelogram is complete. That is OACB. Now I know that if I want to get the resultant of this force P and Q, how I will get? I will get by parallelogram law. And what that law tells us? That law tells us that resultant will be nothing but if you join the longest diagonal line. And from this diagram, it is very much clear that my longest diagonal line is nothing but OC line. So if I join OC, this OC will represent the resultant of force P and Q separated by an angle theta, and these two forces also represent two adjacent sides of parallelogram. Is the statement clear? Any doubt? If anyone can respond. If anyone can respond, that is, my statement is clear.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir, clear.
Okay, fine. So this is how I will get the resultant of force P and Q by parallelogram law. Fine. Now I told you in the last class, or for electrical people, if you have watched my videos in the Google Classroom, there I have talked that a force is represented by its magnitude as well as direction. So magnitude already I got, that is how much? That is this resultant R. If I measure OC to some scale, then if I convert that scale into some newtons, I will get that magnitude. Now I need to represent this force in terms of directions also, because force is a vector quantity, and I know that a vector quantity has a magnitude as well as its direction. So let us assume that this resultant force R, resultant of P and Q, is making an angle alpha with respect to this horizontal force P. With respect to this horizontal force P. Then if by some means I can calculate the value of alpha, then this alpha will give me the direction of resultant R from force P. Or you can take this alpha over here also between force Q and R. Then you have to say that your force R is of magnitude say 100 Newton, acting at an angle of alpha, say alpha is 17 degree, from force Q in clockwise, in anti-clockwise direction likewise. Now did you understood this concept of alpha? Any doubt?
No, sir.
Hello. Fine. Okay. Now let us.
Yes,
What
sir.
we need to find out. We need to find out the value of this resultant, because how much value of this resultant will be, because in problem some value of P will be given to me, some value of Q will be given to me, some value of theta will be given to me. I need to calculate the value of R. For that I need to prove that how much will be the resultant R. How to prove? For that, I will do one small construction. What is that construction? That construction is, I have made already this figure, that is OACB, as well as I have joined O to C to get the value of resultant R. Now, one small construction I am doing in this figure. What is that construction? From point C, I am dropping a perpendicular, that is CD, on this horizontal line. Which is my horizontal line? This OA is my horizontal line, and I am extending this line. So this is that intersection point. Fine. And let us name this intersection point as D. Let us name this intersection point as D. Fine. And by geometry, I know that if angle BOA is theta, then by geometry, I know that angle CAD will also be theta. Yes or no? Because OB is parallel to AC, so angle subtended by BOA, if it is theta, then angle CAD, that angle will also be theta. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Fine. If line AC is not parallel to line OB, then this theta and this theta will not be same. Since OB is parallel to AC, so I can say, and length of OB is equal to length of AC, so I can say that angle BOA is equal to theta and angle AD is also equal to theta by geometry. Clear है? किसी को कोई डाउट है?
नहीं सर.
No, sir.
Okay. Now I need to find out the value of resultant R. How I will find out? I know from the diagram that resultant R is nothing but line OC. Fine. So if I see this diagram, this right hand diagram, if I consider the triangle OCD, this big triangle OCD, then from this triangle I know that this is a right angle triangle, and in right angle triangle if I apply Pythagoras theorem, what Pythagoras theorem is? Pythagoras theorem says that hypotenuse square, that is OC square, is equal to base square, that means OD square, plus perpendicular square, that is CD square. So that means I can write OC is equal to nothing but under root of OD square plus CD square, and this OC is nothing but resultant R. क्लियर है सबको यहाँ तक? कोई डाउट किसी को?
No, sir.
Okay, if anyone from the electrical department can confirm me whether you are facing any doubt so far?
No, sir. No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay, ठीक है. Now, how I will find out the value of R? I will get the value of R only if I know the value of OD and if I know the value of CD. So, by geometry, I have to find out what is OD and what is CD. Fine. Let us find it out. OD. How I will write OD? I can write OD as OA plus AD. So it will be under root of OA plus AD whole square plus CD whole square. क्या यहाँ तक clear है? Second line. Second line clear है सबको? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now I have to find out what is OA, what is AD, and what is CD. Let us find out from the diagram, right hand diagram. OA. क्या मुझे कोई बोल सकता है फिगर देख के OA कितना होगा? Right hand वाला diagram देख के कोई बोल सकता है what will be OA?
P.
OA will be P because already it is given in the question. OA is P plus अब AD कितना होगा? क्या कोई बोल सकता है? AD कितना होगा? I will suggest if someone from electrical department can answer.
AC cos theta sir.
AD will be AC cos theta. कैसे आया? For that you have to consider this triangle ACD. If you consider this triangle, हाँ बोलो कुछ बोल रहे थे?
Yes sir.
हाँ बोलो.
Because the line AC and AT, the angle is between of that is theta. That's why this can be AD equals to AC cos theta.
Yes. If I consider this triangle ACD, fine. I need to find out what AD. I need to find out AD. Now, by trigonometric ratios, I know that cos theta is base. Base means AD divided by hypotenuse AC. Then AD will be AC cos theta. So AD is AC cos theta. So it becomes in bracket P plus AC cos theta square plus CD. What is CD? See, since CD is perpendicular, then I have to use the concept of sine. I know that sine theta is equal to perpendicular. Perpendicular is P by hypotenuse. Perpendicular is CD upon hypotenuse is AC. So CD will be AC sine theta. AC sine theta. So the resultant equation becomes R is equal to under root P plus AC cos theta whole square plus AC sine theta whole square. Is it clear till third step? किसी को कोई डाउट है टिल थर्ड स्टेप?
No, sir.
ओके ठीक है फाइन. फोर्थ स्टेप. व्हाट इज फोर्थ स्टेप? अंडर रूट P प्लस AC. नाउ फ्रॉम द डायग्राम इट इज वेरी क्या कोई मुझे बोल सकता है AC का वैल्यू कितना होगा डायग्राम देख के? अब मुझे AC को सब्स्टिट्यूट करना पड़ेगा और else I cannot solve.
Q sir.
Yes, AC will be Q. Why Q? Because in order to prove this law, I have made one construction that from point A, I have drawn a line in such a way that that line is parallel to line OB and the value will be exactly equal to Q. Length will be exactly equal to Q. Fine. So AC is nothing but Q. So it is P plus Q cos theta whole square plus AC. Again, AC is Q. So Q sin theta whole square. Fine. Next, fifth step. What is fifth step? If you see the fourth step, this is A plus B whole square. P plus Q cos theta whole square is nothing but A plus B whole square. I can write that A square plus B square plus 2AB. So I can write R is equal to under root P square plus Q square cos square theta plus 2PQ cos theta plus Q square sin square theta. Is this step clear?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, next step, R is equal to under root. Now you can take Q square common. If you take Q square common, then you can write P square plus, if you take this Q square common, it will be cos square theta plus sin square theta plus 2PQ cos theta. Then by trigonometric identity, I know that sin square theta plus cos square theta is 1. So the resultant equation becomes R is equal to under root P square plus Q square plus 2PQ cos theta. This is the value of resultant R. So if any problem, if in the problem it has been told to you that find out the value of resultant R by parallelogram law, this is that resultant formula which you will use to calculate. किसी को कोई डाउट है यहाँ तक?
No, sir.
Fine. Okay. So I got the value of resultant R. Let it be equation number 1. Now I told you that force is nothing but it is force is represented by a magnitude as well as force as well as by direction. So magnitude I got, that is R is equal to under root P square plus Q square 2PQ cos theta. Now I need to get the value of direction. So can you tell me from this diagram what will be the direction? Which angle will be the direction of resultant? क्या डायग्राम देखे कोई मुझे बोल सकता है कि रिजल्टेंट आर का डायरेक्शन कौन सा होगा? If you see this diagram, resultant R is making
at an angle alpha.
Yes, resultant R
at an angle alpha
is
in northeast.
making an angle alpha with respect to this force P. Don't say with respect to horizontal. I will come later on. Why you cannot say horizontal? I will come later on. In this diagram, it is very much clear that resultant R is making an angle alpha with respect to force P. With respect to force P. Now, in order to represent my force R in terms of direction, I need to get the value of alpha. Fine. So, how I will get? In order to get the value of alpha, let us consider the triangle OCD. Triangle OCD. If you take tan alpha is what? P by B, that is perpendicular is CD divided by base OD. Again, I can write OD as OA plus AD. Yes or no? I can write OD as OA plus AD. Fine. Now, what is OA? OA is nothing but force P. See, OA is nothing but force P plus AD. What is AD? AD already we have calculated. AD is nothing but AC cos theta, which is nothing but Q cos theta. So AD is your Q cos theta. Fine. Now what is CD? CD will be your Q sin theta. Already I have find out. So tan alpha is equal to CD upon OA plus AD, that is Q sin theta divided by P plus Q cos theta. So alpha will be tan inverse of Q sin theta divided by P plus Q cos theta. So if you know the value of Q, if you know the value of theta, if you know the value of P and Q, you can get the value of alpha. Then you can say that your resultant R, which is of say 40 Newton magnitude, is making an angle alpha. Say alpha is 14 degree with respect to this force P. Is the thing clear? आया समझ में कैसे मैंने अल्फा निकाला और कैसे मैंने रिजल्टेंट आर निकाला?
हाँ सर।
ठीक है, ठीक।
Yes, sir.
अब मैंने एक वर्ड बोला था आपको दैट यू कैन नॉट टेक दिस अल्फा ऑलवेज विथ रिस्पेक्ट टू हॉरिजॉन्टल। मैंने यहां पे बोला था दैट दिस अल्फा इज this resultant R is making an angle alpha with respect to this force P. I am not telling that this angle alpha, this resultant R is making an angle alpha with respect to horizontal axis. क्या कोई बोल सकता है मैं क्यों ऐसा बोल रहा हूं? क्यों वो हॉरिजॉन्टल के साथ नहीं होगा? क्यों वो फोर्स P के साथ होगा? कोई बोल सकता है कुछ?
Sir, because we don't know the actual direction of P.
Yes. We don't know the actual direction of P. If you see this problem, in order to prove the statement, I have taken a simple figure. Now, this force P can be at an angle, say 14 degree with respect to x-axis. This force P can be at an angle of, say, 27 degree with respect to y-axis. This force P can be at an angle of 29 degree with respect to z-axis. वो तो क्वेश्चन टू क्वेश्चन डिफर करेगा, है कि नहीं? हेलो,
हाँ सर।
Yes, sir.
अगर वो क्वेश्चन टू क्वेश्चन डिपेंड करेगा देन आपका अल्फा तो चेंज हो जाएगा। अभी फोर्स P जो है दैट इज पैरेलल टू हॉरिजॉन्टल एक्सिस, इसीलिए आप बोल सकते हो कि हाँ ठीक है अल्फा रिजल्टेंट R इज मेकिंग एन एंगल अल्फा विद रिस्पेक्ट टू फोर्स P व्हिच इज पैरेलल टू एक्स एक्सिस। अब ऐसा भी तो हो सकता है सेकंड डायग्राम में कि फोर्स P मान लो कुछ एंगल से x डिग्री से टर्न हो गया। फॉर एग्जाम्पल मैं एक डायग्राम बनाता हूं तब आपको क्लियर होगा। वेट, can you see my screen? Hello?
No sir.
Okay, wait. Fine. Now can you see my screen? Hello?
Yes sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. अभी क्लियर होगा कि मैंने ऐसा क्यों बोला। फाइन, ओके। Say this is my force P and this is my force Q. ये मेरा ओरिजिनल क्वेश्चन था। फाइन, angle between P and Q is theta and this force P is acting at point O. So if I want to get the resultant, what I did, from point B I have drawn a line parallel to this line and value exactly equal to Q, and from this point I have drawn a line, parallel line exactly equal to OP, that means this line. Now say this is O, say this is A, say this is B, and this is C. Now if I join OB, because OB is the longest diagonal, if I join OB, now this is my resultant R, which is making an angle alpha with respect to force P. This was my original question. अभी मैं क्वेश्चन को चेंज कर रहा हूं। कैसे चेंज कर रहा हूं? Say this is my force P, same point O from where it is acting, and this is my force Q. Angle between P and Q is theta. I have to find the resultant magnitude as well as direction by parallelogram law. अब बोलो, अब मैं कैसे सॉल्व करूंगा इस क्वेश्चन को? हेलो
Sir, in same way.
Sir, at first we have to consider the
And first step is from point P, I have to draw a parallel line of length equal to magnitude equal to OQ. होगा कि नहीं होगा? ठीक है, let us draw and say this is your x-axis. This is your x-axis. ठीक है, so P से मैंने draw किया, ठीक है, draw हो गया, चलो इसको बोल देते हैं C. Then from point Q, again I have to draw a parallel line of length and magnitude equal to OP. होगा कि नहीं होगा?
Yes, sir.
होगा. Let us draw Q to C. हो गया. Now, if I want to get the value of resultant R, I have to join the longest diagonal. अब कौन सा होगा इसमें longest diagonal? इस parallelogram में बोलो.
OC.
O to C. So I will join O to C. Now this OC is nothing but your resultant R for this problem. Fine. Now this angle alpha. अब यहाँ पे जो angle alpha था, क्या आप मुझे बोलोगे अब ये जो एंगल अल्फा इस क्वेश्चन में कहां किसके किसके बीच बन रहा है? नया जो क्वेश्चन अभी मैंने बनाया है, इस क्वेश्चन में एंगल अल्फा किसके किसके बीच बन रहा है? कौन से फोर्स, दो फोर्स के बीच में बन रहा है?
Between OC and OP.
Between OC and OP. That means this angle is alpha. This angle is alpha, and alpha I know it is what? Tan inverse Q sin theta by P plus Q cos theta. But in the new question, I can say that this force P has rotated or is at some angle, say beta, with respect to x-axis. होगा कि नहीं होगा?
Yes, sir.
Fine. Now, if I say that resultant R is 45 Newton and it is making an angle of alpha plus beta with respect to x-axis. अब क्या स्टेटमेंट सही है? क्या स्टेटमेंट सही है? अगर मैं मुझसे पूछा जाए कि इस रिजल्टेंट का डायरेक्शन क्या होगा, तो डायरेक्शन आइदर मैं एक्स एक्सिस के रेस्पेक्ट में दूंगा, या फिर मैं वाई एक्सिस के रेस्पेक्ट में दूंगा, या फिर मैं किसी भी एक फोर्स के रेस्पेक्ट में दूंगा. अगर आप इस रिजल्टेंट आर का डायरेक्शन देते हो विद रेस्पेक्ट टू फोर्स पी, देन आपको बोलना पड़ेगा दैट दिस रिजल्टेंट आर इज मेकिंग एन एंगल अल्फा विद रेस्पेक्ट टू फोर्स पी. अगर आप इसका आंसर देना चाहते हो विद रेस्पेक्ट टू एक्सिस, say x-axis, then आपको बोलना पड़ेगा that this resultant R is making an angle alpha plus beta with respect to x-axis. ठीक है?
Yes,
कोई
sir.
डाउट है किसी को? कोई डाउट है किसी को? हेलो?
No, sir.
फाइन. इसीलिए मैंने बोला दैट एवरी टाइम क्वेश्चन कैन नॉट बी लाइक दिस. ये तो एक स्टेटमेंट को प्रूफ करना था, मुझे एक फॉर्मूला डेराइव करना था, इसलिए मैंने एक सिंपल केस लिया. क्वेश्चन में केस कॉम्प्लिकेटेड होगा तो आपको पता होना चाहिए कि थीटा किसके बीच लगता है, अल्फा किसके किसके बीच लगता है, बीटा क्या होगा. क्वेश्चन में बीटा मान लो 5 हो सकता है, अल्फा मान लो गामा हो सकता है, कुछ भी हो सकता है. बस आपको कॉन्सेप्ट पता होना चाहिए कि ये जो अल्फा किसके किसके बीच लग रहा है, बीटा किसके बीच लग रहा है, थीटा किसके बीच लग रहा है, और कैसे इसको निकालना है. कोई डाउट किसी को?
Hello, sir.
No, sir.
Okay, let us move forward. Let me close this window.
Hello, sir.
Hello, yes.
Sir, I have a question.
हाँ बोलो.
Sir, actually, if we consider this in a rotating frame of reference, then how can we solve it?
No, I am talking at present frame is static. When I will deal with rotating, it will come in the coming modules. In this module, whatever I am doing, that is in static condition. X, Y and Z is fixed. If X, Y and Z will be rotating, then the concept will change. That will come in module number 2.
Okay, sir.
ठीक है, तो जब हम लोग वहां आगे पढ़ेंगे मॉड्यूल, तो वहां पे हम लोग डिस्कस करेंगे कि रोटेटिंग होगा तो कैसे क्या होगा. यहाँ पे कोई चीज रोटेटिंग नहीं हो रहा है. इन मॉड्यूल नंबर 1, whatever analysis we are doing, body is static in nature. ठीक है?
Okay.
Okay. So let me open my slide again. Okay, so this concept is clear. Alpha is equal to tan inverse Q sin theta upon P plus Q cos theta. That is equation number 2. And also I have made this concept very much clear that you cannot that alpha is the angle between resultant R and the force P, and force P can be oriented in the space in any direction. Fine. Okay. Now let us take some special cases. Let us take some special cases. Case number 1, when two forces are equal and theta is the angle between them. That means in this question, in this left diagram, leftmost diagram, force P and Q is same. P is equal to Q or Q is equal to P. Fine. And there is an angle theta. Then how you will find out the value of resultant R, and how you will find out the value of the angle which the resultant R is making with respect to force P. I know the formula that R is equal to under root P square plus Q square plus 2PQ cos theta. If the two forces are equal, then either P is equal to Q or Q is equal to P. So let us assume that Q is equal to P. R is equal to P square plus, in place of Q I will write P, again P square plus 2P into Q, again in place of Q I will write P into cos theta. So it will be P plus P is 2P square plus 2P square cos theta. I can take 2P square common. If I take 2P square common, in bracket it will be 1 plus cos theta. Again, R is equal to under root 2P square. I have to use the trigonometric identity, that is 1 plus cos theta. I know it is nothing but 2 cos square theta. Then 2 into 2 is 4. 4 will come out from the root, it will become 2, and P square again will come out from the root, it will be P. Cos square theta by 2, again it will come out from the root, it will be cos theta by 2. So the resultant R is 2 into P cos theta by 2. Is it clear? कोई डाउट है किसी को?
No, sir.
ठीक है? So
No, sir.
resultant R is equal to 2 into P cos theta by 2 when the two forces are equal. That means either P is equal to Q or Q is equal to P. Now I need to find out what? I need to find out this angle alpha. How much will the resultant will make with respect to this force P? Fine, let us find out. I know the formula that alpha is equal to tan inverse Q sin theta divided by P plus Q cos theta. Already I know that P is equal to Q. So in place of Q, either you substitute P, or in place of P, either you substitute Q. So I am substituting P in place of Q. So my equation becomes alpha is equal to tan inverse P sin theta divided by P plus Q is P cos theta. So tan inverse P sin theta in bracket, I can take P common. If you take P common, it will be P in bracket 1 plus cos theta. P cancel out. So your final expression becomes alpha equal to tan inverse sin theta divided by 1 plus cos theta. Fine. Now again you have to use what? You have to use trigonometric identity. That is alpha equal to tan inverse. I can write sin theta as 2 sin theta by 2 into cos theta by 2, and I can write 1 plus cos theta as 2 cos square theta by 2. 2 cancel, 1 cos theta by 2 and this square get cancel, and sin by cos is tan. So alpha is equal to tan inverse tan theta by 2. Now if I know that in inverse trigonometry, tan inverse tan of any angle is nothing but that angle itself. So alpha is equal to theta by 2. This is the value of that angle alpha which your resultant R will make when both the forces are equal. Is it clear how I got R and how I got alpha? कोई डाउट है किसी को?
No, sir.
ठीक है? Okay, fine. Let us move forward. Let us see the second case. What is case number 2? Case number 2 is when the two forces act at right angle to each other. That means angle between force P and Q is 90 degree. That means theta is 90 degree. If theta is 90 degree, force Q will be parallel to x-axis. होगा कि नहीं होगा? Hello?
हाँ सर होगा.
force Q will be parallel to x-axis. So this is the diagram. This is my force P. This is my force Q acting at point O, and angle between P and Q is what? 90 degree. Then what will be the value of resultant, and what will be the value of the angle which the resultant will make with respect to force P? Find out. I have the formula. क्या है formula? Formula is R is equal to under root P square plus Q square plus 2PQ cos theta. In case number 2, both P and Q are different. What is given? Given is that angle between P and Q is 90 degree. That means theta is 90 degree. So I can substitute R is equal to under root P square plus Q square plus 2PQ cos of 90. And I know that cos 90 is how much? Cos 90 is 0. If cos 90 is 0, equation becomes R is equal to under root P square plus Q square. So this is the expression of resultant R if the case is like this. That means if the angle between both the forces are 90 degree, then by parallelogram law, I can get the value of resultant R, which is under root P square plus Q square. Now, if I need to get the value of angle alpha, which that resultant R will make with respect to force P, again I know that that angle alpha is nothing but tan inverse Q sin theta divided by P plus Q cos theta. Again in this case, theta is 90 degree. So equation becomes alpha is equal to tan inverse Q sin 90 divided by P plus Q cos 90. Sin 90 is 1, cos 90 is 0. If I solve this expression, I will get alpha is equal to tan inverse Q, because sin 90 is 1 divided by Q into cos 90. Q into cos 90 is 0. Q into 0, 0. So alpha is equal to tan inverse Q by P. This is that direction which the resultant will make with respect to force P if it is case number 2. क्या किसी को कोई डाउट है केस नंबर 2 में?
सर अगर two forces equal हुआ and they acted
आएगा वो आएगा
right
वो नीचे केस में है, अभी पूरा खत्म नहीं हुआ है, वो नीचे केस में अभी आएगा. क्या केस नंबर 2 क्लियर है?
हाँ सर.
Okay, from electrical department, if anyone can reply if the thing is clear or not.
Yes, sir.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Hello.
Yes,
Anyone
sir.
from the electrical
Yes,
department?
sir, clear.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Let us move to the third case. What is case number 3? Case number 3 is when the two forces acts in the same line and same sense. अब आप मेरे को इस स्टेटमेंट को पढ़ के मुझे बोलो कि डायग्राम कैसा बनेगा. क्या मैंने जो डायग्राम बनाया है ये रेड पेन से, क्या ये डायग्राम ठीक है फॉर केस नंबर 3? Both the forces act in the same line and same sense. When two forces act in the same line, so let us assume that both the forces are parallel to x-axis. If it is parallel to x-axis, line of action is nothing but my x-axis. ठीक है, force P is also acting along x direction, force Q is also acting along x direction. See, both are in the same line and same sense. Same sense means if force P is acting along plus x direction, then Q is also acting along plus x direction. अगर P act कर रहा है minus x direction में, Q भी minus x direction में act करेगा. That is same sense. That means angle between P and Q is 0 degree. क्या ये बात समझ में आया? अगर दोनों फोर्स एक ही लाइन में है, एक ही डायरेक्शन में मूव कर रहे हैं, then angle between those two forces will be 0 degree. Is this statement is clear?
जी सर.
ठीक है, ये थीटा इक्वल टू 0 डिग्री क्वेश्चन में नहीं दिया होगा. What will be given to you in the question? Question will be when two forces act in the same line and are in the same sense. Find out what will be the value of resultant R. ये दिया रहेगा. तो आपको ये लाइन को पढ़ के समझना पड़ेगा कि डायग्राम कैसा बनेगा P का, डायग्राम कैसा बनेगा Q का, दोनों के बीच में एंगल कितना होगा. फाइन. So now I can substitute that r is equal to under root p square plus q square plus 2pq cos theta. Since theta is 0 degree, so it will become r is equal to under root p square plus q square plus 2pq, because cos 0 is 1 and this is nothing but a plus b whole square. So I can write under root p plus q whole square. If I take out the root, it will become r is equal to p plus q. Is this formula is correct? क्या किसी को डाउट है इसमें? R is equal to P plus Q for case 3. कोई डाउट है किसी को?
No, sir.
Okay. This means, so what I conclude from this statement that R is equal to P plus Q, I conclude that the resultant is maximum when forces are collinear and act in same direction. When more than one force act in the same line, I will call it as a collinear force. They are acting along the same line. That means this force P and Q is nothing but collinear force and they are acting in the same direction. At that time, I will get the maximum resultant. Resultant of these two forces will be maximum when P and Q are collinear forces. Fine. What is the fourth case? Just the reverse one. That is when the two forces have same line of action. That means both the forces are acting along x-axis. That means they are parallel to x-axis. That is the definition of this line, same line of action, but opposite sense. What is the meaning of this line, opposite sense? Means if force P is acting in plus x direction, Q has to act in minus x direction. तो क्या मुझे कोई बोल पाएगा then what is the angle between P and Q? जब कोई दो फोर्स एक ही लाइन में उसका लाइन ऑफ एक्शन सेम हो बट डायरेक्शन अपोजिट हो, देन एंगल कितना होगा दोनों फोर्स के बीच में? 180 degree. Because see, this is my P. This is, can you see my this mobile? Okay.
Yes, sir.
This is my force P. This is my point O. This is plus x direction, and this is my hand. Fine. This is minus x direction. So this is P. This is Q. Earlier, this Q was like this. Angle is 0 degree. Now this Q is coming like this, like this, like this, and like this. Now the angle turned is 180 degree. So angle between P and Q is 180 degree. I know the formula that resultant R is equal to under root P square plus Q square plus 2PQ cos theta. Theta is 180 degree, and I know cos 180 is what? Cos 180 is minus 1. So R is equal to under root P square plus Q square minus 2PQ, which is nothing but of the form A minus B whole square, that is P minus Q whole square. And if you take this one from the root, you will get R is equal to P minus Q. From this statement, it is clear that resultant of two collinear force, this is also a collinear force. Why? It is acting along the same x-axis. When the direction is opposite or when the sense is opposite, then the resultant which you get is minimum, that is P minus Q. क्या कोई डाउट है किसी को यहाँ तक?
No, sir.
ठीक है. So this is the entire concept of your parallelogram law of forces. I don't think today we will be able to solve numerical problems on parallelogram law of forces. That we will solve in the next class, but I will cover two small topics more. Are you having any kind of doubt in this parallelogram law of forces? Proof is also important from exam point of view as well as numerical. Numerical में change हो जाएगा, direction change होगा. कभी P parallel to x axis होगा, Q parallel to y axis होगा. कभी P and Q दोनों ही किसी angle will be turned by some angle with respect to x and y axis. You have to understand the problem, accordingly you have to solve. Formula will be same, but P, direction of P, direction of Q, theta, alpha, ये सब change हो जाएगा. क्वेश्चन टू क्वेश्चन ये सब वेरी होगा. ठीक है?
हाँ,
कोई
sir.
डाउट? ओके. आई विल कवर टू स्मॉल टॉपिक्स मोर, देन इन द नेक्स्ट क्लास वी विल सॉल्व द प्रॉब्लम्स बेस्ड ऑन दिस पैरेललोग्राम लॉ. फाइन. ओके. नेक्स्ट इज योर Lami's theorem. What is Lami's theorem? This also I think you have studied in class 11th physics. What is Lami's theorem? Lami's theorem states that if three forces are acting at any particular point, and if all the three forces are in equilibrium condition, say this is my force P, this is my force Q, and this is my force R. All the three forces are either originating or terminating from this common point. Say this common point is O. And if all these three forces are in equilibrium condition, then according to this law, if you want to get the value of how much will be P, Q and R, how you will get? The force will be proportional to the sine of angle between the other two forces. That means P divided by angle between the other two forces. The other two forces Q and R, and angle between Q and R is alpha. So P by sine alpha will be equal to, why it is equal? Because it is in equilibrium condition. In equilibrium condition, both P, Q and R, if you are applying, say P equal to 100 Newton, Q is equal to 100 Newton, R is equal to 100 Newton, nothing is changing. This point O is fixed. If you apply P equal to 50 Newton, Q 100, R 80, then also point is not changing. Then also the point is not changing. Then this law is valid. P divided by sine alpha is equal to Q. Q divided by angle between the other two forces. The other force is R and P. Angle is beta. So it will be sine beta, which is also equal to R. R divided by the other two force angle, that is other force is P and Q. Angle between Q and P is gamma. So the resulting expression becomes P by sine alpha equal to Q by sine beta equal to R by sine gamma. Is it clear? Lami's theorem?
Yes, sir.
But remember, you will apply Lamy theorem only when there is three force. जब किसी भी बॉडी में तीन फोर्स एक्ट कर रहे हो और वो तीनों फोर्स अगर इक्विलिब्रियम कंडीशन में है, सेपरेटेड बाय सम एंगल, देन ओनली दिस थ्योरम इज वैलिड. अगर किसी बॉडी में चार फोर्स एक्ट कर रहे हैं किसी पर्टिकुलर पॉइंट पे, तब आप लैमी थ्योरम यूज करके उसको सॉल्व नहीं कर सकते हो. दिस इज द लिमिटेशन, ये ध्यान रखना. फाइन, ठीक है. कोई डाउट किसी को लैमी थ्योरम में?
No, sir.
Okay. Last topic for today's class is principle of transmissibility of a force. Now, what is this principle? Let us understand the diagram. This diagram is nothing but the principle of transmissibility of force. What this diagram tells? Let us consider a rigid body. This is a rigid body. Body A and body B. Both the bodies are identical in nature. Shape, size, सब कुछ same है दोनों body का. Fine. Now what I am doing is that, say this is my line of action of force. ये जो line दिख रहा है, this line, this tilted line, body A and body B में, this is nothing but line of action of force. That means उस line के along आप इस body में force apply करोगे. ठीक है? अब ये लॉ क्या बोलता है? ये लॉ ये बोलता है कि अगर आपके पास कोई रिजिड बॉडी है और उस रिजिड बॉडी में आपने लाइन ऑफ एक्शन ड्रॉ कर लिया है, दिस इज योर टू लाइन ऑफ एक्शंस. ठीक है. अगर मैं बात करूं बॉडी ए का, एक एंड पॉइंट इज पॉइंट ए, another end point is point B, and AB is your line of action. Same end point right hand side में भी है. This A small AB is your line of action of force. Point A is one end of the rigid body. Point B is the other end of the rigid body. Then this law states that if you apply force F along that same line of action at point B, this is force F, that same force F, if you apply at point A along the same line of action without changing its magnitude and direction, then no change will take place in the body. Body जैसा था पहले, बाद में भी वैसा ही रहेगा. बॉडी का शेप और साइज चेंज नहीं होगा. That is your principle of transmissibility of a force. अगर ये बॉडी, अगर एक रिजिड बॉडी है, उस रिजिड बॉडी में आप एक लाइन ऑफ एक्शन ड्रॉ करो, उस लाइन ऑफ एक्शन के अलोंग आप कहीं पर भी कितना भी फोर्स अप्लाई करो, ठीक है, बॉडी में कोई भी चेंज नहीं आएगा। दैट इज योर प्रिंसिपल ऑफ ट्रांसमिसिबिलिटी ऑफ फोर्स। क्या समझ में आया?
Yes, sir.
एनी डाउट इन प्रिंसिपल ऑफ ट्रांसमिसिबिलिटी ऑफ फोर्स? अब ये फोर्स F को अगर मैं बीच में अप्लाई करूं, ठीक है, सेम डायरेक्शन में, ठीक है, तो कोई चेंज नहीं आएगा। ठीक, दिस इज योर प्रिंसिपल ऑफ ट्रांसमिसिबिलिटी ऑफ फोर्स। किसी को कोई डाउट आज के लेक्चर में? दैट इज योर पैरेललोग्राम लॉ ऑफ फोर्सेस derivation part with all the possible cases, Lami's theorem and principle of transmissibility of force. Because if there is a doubt, then you will be facing difficulty in solving the numericals, because next class numericals will be based on your parallelogram law of forces. क्या किसी को कोई डाउट है? Anyone
No, sir.
from the mechanical department, if you can respond, if you are facing any kind of doubt?
No, sir. No doubt.
Okay. Anyone from the electrical department, if you can respond, if you are facing any kind of doubt?
No, sir.
Okay.
No, sir. No, sir.
Okay, fine. So
Will you post this video on Google Classroom?
yes, from now onwards, what I will do is that I will not post these lectures videos in your official group, neither in W official group nor in any official group. The reason is that many messages are coming day by day, so it will be difficult for you to find out when I have posted this lecture. So what I will do is that by the day end, by today midnight, I will be uploading this lecture in the Google Classroom. So if you haven't registered in Google Classroom, please register in Google Classroom. Fine. So by day and आज रात तक आपको मिल जाएगा ये lecture. Fine. And one more thing, if you haven't given your attendance, please write your attendance in the chat box. You have to write your name / department / class roll number, and one announcement is there. That announcement is on Saturday. On Saturday at 10 a.m. in the morning. Fine. There will be a quiz. अभी तक मैंने जो पढ़ाया है, जो 3 लेक्चर हुआ है, इलेक्ट्रिकल डिपार्टमेंट वालों के लिए भी ये क्विज होगा। तो मैं आपको बोलूंगा कि आप लोग गूगल क्लासरूम में जाके मेरा प्रीवियस 2 लेक्चर देख लेना, फर्स्ट एंड सेकंड लेक्चर। थ्योरेटिकल है, अभी तक न्यूमेरिकल आया नहीं है, दैट इज वेरी इजी। फॉर व्हाट इज फोर्स, व्हाट आर द डिफरेंट टाइप्स ऑफ फोर्स सिस्टम्स, ऑल दीस थिंग्स आई हैव कवर्ड। फाइन। और इफ यू आर फेसिंग एनी काइंड ऑफ प्रॉब्लम, यू कैन कांटेक्ट मी। फाइन। तो अभी आज के तक जितना हुआ है, देयर विल बी अ स्मॉल क्विज on Saturday morning at 10 a.m. through Google form. I will post the link of that Google form at around 9:58 a.m. and that quiz will be of 15 minutes duration. Fine. And you have to give those quizzes because this subject is basically shared by 2 faculty. I am taking half portion SBM sir is taking. Fine. So my internal marks criteria will be your attendance, daily attendance, plus your mid-sems. When the college will reopen, you have to give your mid-sems, plus these quizzes which I will take. I will not take every week. After covering 3 to 2 lectures, after every 2 lectures, after every 2 weeks, I will take 1 quiz. So I will add all these 3 marks together, and then I will give you your sessional marks from my end. You are having total 30 marks. Out of 30, 15 marks I will give, 15 marks that sir will give. So my 15 marks will be your performance in class attendance, quizzes, plus your mid-sems. Is it clear?
Yes,
Without
sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So morning 10 a.m. पे मैं वो link भेज दूंगा आप लोग को quiz दे देना. Fine. So now you can leave the meeting, but before leaving, make sure that you have given your attendance. Thank you. We are done with today's class. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome.